Mystic Piper has been one of those under-the-radar decks since 2011, abusing the fact that Mystic Piper allows you to tribute himself to draw a card, and if you draw a level 1 monster, you gain an additional draw. This allows you to out-advantage your opponent with all of the cards you'll be able to have in the abundance of resources. Now we're inside of the Link format, one would have to wonder, how would this 6-year-old deck be able to compete? Well, with Linkuriboh, the deck does get a lot better. I'm TheCaliEffect, and if you guys want to see more videos like that, then you should just one level up. Get it? Level 1 up because they're all level 1. That subscribe button. But more importantly, throw your Mystic Piper's cards at the notification bell because we just too strong. Without further ado, I present to you a level 1 Mystic Piper Chaos rank up deck profile featuring Linkuriboh. It's obviously not going to be that when, I mean, you already know that by now though. Ironically, in the monster lineup, as many level 1s that we have, we don't run a lot of 1-ofs. No? Alright, whatever. 3 copies of Mystic Piper. This card, when tributed, or allows you to tribute himself to draw a card, and if you draw a level 1 monster, you can draw an additional card from your deck to your hand. It is probably one of the more important cards in the deck because it allows you to tutor into your cards a little faster. Next is 3 copies of Eater of Millions. This card is a really good card, and I'm so happy to see so many great level 1 cards that aid the Mystic Piper strategy. It can be special summoned by banishing 5 cards from the top of your deck, or just 5 cards in your extra deck, and when it battles an opponent's monster, it banishes it face down. It also gains 100 attack for each banished face down card, so it's a really good card, and it combos really well with Mystic Piper, seeing that it's a free level 1 monster to your side of the field. 3 copies of Raidraptor Ultimate, some more cards that Mystic Piper aren't used to because the deck is 6 years old. Ultimate allows you to special summon 1 Raidraptor monster from your extra deck to your side of the field, and has some really nifty combos in this deck. 2 copies of DD Lamia. Lamia is really good in this deck. The reason why is because you can send Dark Contract or DD monsters from your field or hand to your side of the graveyard to special summon it. It's a great level 1 monster. Also aided by DD Savant Kepler. Savant Kepler can search the Dark Contract to search the Lamia to furthermore summon itself for a free rank 1 play. Keep in mind, these are also level 1 monsters that can be drawn again off when you use them for Mystic Piper's effect. Next is 2 copies of Effect Veiler, a really good card at effect negation. 2 copies of Battle Fader. You can't be Mystic Piper without annoying your opponents. Now granted, Linkuriboh has taken responsibilities that Battle Fader once have taken, but being able to stop your opponent's battle phase and end it off of a 1 monster summon is really good. It also provides a level 1 monster to your side of the field. 1 copy of Linkuriboh. The old combo was to play a maximum amount of Linkuribohs, the maximum amount of Mystic Pipers, and be able to constantly summon Linkuriboh to revive your Mystic Piper to continuously draw cards. That combo was a little old and played, but Linkuriboh is still a really good card by tutoring Mystic Piper to your side of the field. Almost all of the other monsters either already served their use when they hit the graveyard, or probably just don't want to be from the graveyard. Next is 1 copy of Jet Synchron, another level 1 monster that can tutor itself to the side of the field by discarding 1 card from your hand. Glow Bulb is another level 1 monster that can tutor itself to its side of the field by sending 1 monster from your deck. So these cards are really good. We play a lot of level 1 monsters that can bring themselves back, and we want to abuse the fact that they are tuners, but as well as level 1 monsters. 1 copy of DD Crow. This is a really good card. It's searchable off the Lyrilusk Recite Starling, and it also disrupts our opponent. That is it for the level 1 monsters. We run quite a few, so when activating Mystic Piper's effect, you are possibly going to be drawing an additional card plus the cards you drew off of Mystic Piper. For the Chaos cards, we run 2 copies of Blackluster Soldier. I would run 3 if we had it. Basically, you banish a Light in the Dark. This deck might not seem like it has an abundance of light monsters, but the extra deck does supplement that, and it can attack twice if it destroys a monster per battle, or you can banish a monster on the field. 3 copies of Chaos Sorcerer. This card is arguably better than Blackluster Soldier, just because it's a level 6 spellcaster that can run really well with our synchro options or our tuner options to make some really great synchros. Furthermore, it does allow you to banish a face-up monster on the field, so the Chaos counterparts complement the deck really well because you normally use your summon with Mystic Piper or Linkuriboh or your DD Savant Kepler or something like that, and you follow up with a nice Chaos play, your boss monsters, and then you can follow up again with a Synchro or XE play. This deck is really good and has something going. The biggest thing I like is that its boss monsters do come from inside of the deck, which prevents you, or which prevents you from being locked up in your extra monster zone or needing to go into your extra deck to make some big boards. So that's it for the monsters, and I'm pretty sure it's 26 monsters. For spells, 3 copies of Dark Contract with the Gate. The gate is going to allow you to add your Savin Kepler, or actually you don't add Savin Kepler, my apologies. It allows you to add Lamia, and Lamia sends the Dark Contract with the Gate to the graveyard, so you not only do you not have to pay 1,000 life points, but it gets you a free level 1 monster to your side of the field. 3 copies of Rank Up Magic Skip Force. Now, I was really debating between playing 3 copies of Rank Up Magic Skip Force and then 3 copies of Astro Force, mainly because Astro Force is an ultimate rare. But this card allows me to special summon the then special summon Rank Up, or the then special summon Raidraptor monster from my graveyard to my side of the field. I kind of leaned with this card. It's really good, and even though it doesn't seem like we have the extra deck space, I'll show you guys some really sick stuff with the extra deck. Next is 3 copies of Where Art Thou. Now, a lot of our monsters are actually special summoned to the side of the field, so we can really take advantage of Where Art Thou. By targeting a level 1 monster on our side of the field, we can add another level 1 monster with a different name from our deck to our hand. We do take 2,000 worth of damage if we do not normal summon the monster, but either we're adding like something like Battle Fader to prevent ourselves from losing more damage that we should have, or we're just adding the Linkuriboh, the Eater of Millions, or whatever we need to get into our combo pieces. This is a really good card, and sometimes the 2,000 points of damage isn't even like, it's nothing. 2 copies of Instant Fusion. This gives us access to Thousand Eyes Restrict and Sea Monster Theseus for some really awesome plays. I'll show you guys about that a little later. 1 copy of Raigeki, 1 copy of 1-for-1, because in a 1-of-1 deck where we play a lot of level 1s, we need a 1-for-1, discarding a level 1 monster to summon a level 1 monster from our deck to our side of the field on one of our monster zones. Probably under our Linkuriboh. No? Alright. And then 1 copy of Foolish Burial. There are a lot of monsters that get sent from the deck to the graveyard, or need to be sent from our deck to our graveyard, and Foolish Burial helps aid that resource. That's it for the spells at 14. A grand total of 40 cards in the main deck, 26 monsters, 14 spells. For the extra deck, or actually some cards that I really wanted to consider playing, Creature Swap is something that's always been played inside of this deck. Normally you summon your Linkuriboh, you summon your Mystic Piper, you draw your card, and then you Creature Swap the Spirit Monster, take their monster, and then at the end phase your Linkuriboh returns to your hand. I decided not to play it because there was a lot of level 1 monsters that I actually wanted on my side of the field. Match Change 2 was a card that I heavily considered side decking. Actually, I would side deck 2 copies of this in Dark Law for when you are forced to go first. And then Relinquish, the entire Relinquished engine was pretty good. It's pretty advantageous when you activate pre-preparation of rights to add Relinquish from your deck to your hand, because it's, you know, seriously, it's a 1 card that gets 2 cards from your deck to your hand, and also Relinquish allows you to get over monster threats, but I really didn't need that, especially with Thousand Eyes Restrict being a card. For the extra deck, 1 copy of Linkuriboh. I apologize for mine looking super specially awesome. Mine hasn't came through the mail yet, but basically you tribute, or you can link summon it by sending a level 1 monster from your deck or from your field to your side of the graveyard, or your side of the field to the graveyard. God, I'm terrible today. Which we just tend to happen a lot of. The best utility for this card is not only does it prevent damage when your opponent declares an attack, you tribute it, return that, reduce that monster's attack to 0. But more importantly, you summon this, and any monster after you summoning him gets you out of your extra monster zone, and he's really good. You can keep tutoring him back to your side of the field on dead cards or your dead level 1 monsters to use for further links. 1 copy of Proxy Dragon. That's a really good light monster that I like to play in the deck because, it's a light monster, it's easy to get into. Biko Bulker is another good card that, really good. And Linkuriboh allows you to keep keep summoning your links, which will eventually get you Decode Talker on your field, which means Proxy Dragon's probably going to be in the graveyard. 1 Raidraptor Ultimate Falcon. This card is Clearfort Towers on drugs. It's just a really good card. You summon it, it's unaffected by your opponent's card effects. And literally, when you make this card, it's probably going to be game. Raidraptor Satellite Falcon, you use what's that Raidraptor's monster's called? Lastrix? I believe it's called Lastrix. You use your Raidraptor's Lastrix to make the Satellite Falcon, and then you rank up magic the Satellite Falcon into the Ultimate Falcon, which is a really good play. It's your Clearfort Towers, and then number 77, since I do play 3 copies of the Lastrix, so I assume that I won't always have the rank up magic. Sometimes I'll have to go into Satellite Cannon and then make 7 cents on top of the Satellite Cannon, which is still a 4K beater that detaches instead of being destroyed. It's a really good card. Now here's where things get a little interesting, because I played 1 copy of number S0 Utopia Zexal, or Utopic Zexal. This card is fucking awesome. So basically, when you make a rank 1 and you have that rank up magic in your hand, make this card, which is number 39 Utopia Roots. and then discard that card to make Utopic S0. So on your opponent's turn, you can prevent your opponent from playing Yu-Gi-Oh for an entire turn. So it's probably gonna make some really good situations for you. It's a really awesome card. There was also another card that was like 4,000 attack, like Utopic Dragon, which wasn't terrible, but I was really tight for extra deck space. Sylvan Princess Sprite is really good for tutoring cards from your deck to your hand, but also can get some of those light and dark targets that you need from your deck to your graveyard if you don't hit the right one. Crystal Wing is extremely easy to make in this deck with Chaos Sorcerer. Arcanite Magician is a monster with this deck. Between Chaos Sorcerer, a level 1 tuner, you can destroy 3 cards on the field. You can banish 3 cards, banish 1 card, destroy 2 cards, and make Crystal Wing throughout the entire process. It's really good. Charge Warrior is a really good card in this deck too. It allows you to draw an extra card. And paired with Formula Synchron, you're going to draw 2 cards and make Crystal Wing. Formula Synchron for that draw 1, and then of course Sea Monster Theseus is one of our instant fusion targets, and Thousand Eyes Restrict is our second instant fusion target. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to get you guys into a couple of test hands, and then we can wrap it all up. This deck is really fun to play. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start off with a couple of test hands. It's going to be pretty fun to see how this deck can open up. Now keep in mind, this is a deck that probably wants to go second, mainly because it's really good at summoning cards like Chaos Sorcerer, Black Luster Soldier, which have their best utility going second. So I'm just going to go ahead and start up. We're going to draw Jet Synchron, Rank Up Magic, Skip Force, which is a pretty good card, Savant Kepler, Effect Veiler, and a Dark Contract. So we have quite a few things we can do right now. I actually think I want to start off with the Utopic S0. So we're going to go ahead and activate the Dark Contract with the gate. That's going to go ahead and get our Lamia to our side of the field. Next, we are going to normal summon the Jet Synchron. And there's a couple of things we can do with this Jet Synchron right now. I think I'm actually just going to normal summon it, and then I'm going to special summon the Lamia by using the Dark Contract with the gate. I don't think this time around I'm going to make the Linkuriboh. I don't think there's a really big need, but I am going to use both of these cards to make the Utopia Roots, and then discard the Rank Up for Utopic S0 Zexal, which will probably keep my opponent at bay for quite some time and allow me to detach cards like Jet Synchron and Lamia on my opponent's turn, and I can always follow up with a nice play. So that's pretty good for this deck. And keep in mind, I didn't build this deck to be like uberly competitive, which is why you guys didn't see Ogres and Ashes and all that other stuff. It was just a really, really fun deck to build, a blast from the past, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it as well. So going into the next one, let's see if this hand will get us as favorable as the other one. Is pretty consistent, and even when you don't draw the cards that you need, like I drew the Rank Up Magic and didn't draw a Raidraptor monster, I still was able to work with it and make a pretty solid board. So 1 for 1, I don't even have to draw the rest of the cards. Unless I draw all spells, I'm pretty much set. Effect Veiler, Mystic Piper, Aditi Lamia, and another Mystic Piper. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and start off by summoning the Mystic Piper, using its effect to draw Eater of Millions, which is going to give me a BLS. Can I stop right here? Can I please stop right here? We're going to use a 1 for 1's effect, and we're going to send the Lamia to the graveyard. Can you guys see everything? I'm just going to leave that right here. Good. All right, I'm going to send the Lamia to the graveyard, and now I have... Actually, yeah, I think I'm forced to summon this card, even though it's not a bad card to summon. I'm going to summon Savant Kepler, and look, contracts all next to each other. I'm going to add the contract to the hand. I'm going to activate the contract, and that's going to search my next Lamia from my deck to my hand, because I get a free search every turn. Next, I'm going to go ahead and send the Dark Contract, or I can just summon the Eater of Millions and then do that thing. Actually, I think I'm going to do that thing. Let's risk it for the biscuit. Normally, like I said, we would be going second, so I would have a 6th card. It's something that this deck would pride itself on, but actually, give me that 6th card. Let's see if we can go second, because it's going to be, oh man, oh man, now we got things, So I'm going to go ahead and summon the Eater of Millions by banishing 5 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just about every single time I've summoned Eater of Millions, it hasn't really meant anything. Every card that I've banished doesn't mean anything. These are the cards that I banished, so don't get me wrong, banishing both Battle Faders is bad, but it's like, it didn't really mean much. So now that I have Eater of Millions on my field, I can either enter battle, break my opponent's board with Eater of Millions, or I can do some other things. I'm going to go ahead and use Contract to summon my Lamia to my side of the field. Next, I'm going to send Eater of Millions to the graveyard, which is going to summon Linkuriboh. And then I'm going to use both Lamia and Savant Kepler. That's going to make my Utopic Roots. Now I'm going to discard the rank up for S0, and then I'm going to banish a light and a dark monster, which is Eater of the Millions, and Mystic Piper for Black Luster Soldier. Pretty good board, am I right? No, I think that's a pretty decent board for a pretty casual deck. And keep in mind, Lamia is going to go right back to the graveyard, and I have this Lamia in hand, so it's pretty good. I think we all, you know, we Gucci, we Couture, we set up really nicely. What I wanted to show you guys was a combo, but I don't think I'm going to draw it. And basically, the only thing I need is a way to put Global. What's up? Okay, that's fine. No, basically the only thing I need to do is put up Global on the field, so we're good for one more combo. I didn't even show him an extra deck, or a side deck. I need to put a Global on the field and a Chaos Sorcerer on the field, which is not hard. And basically what you do, you banish with Chaos Sorcerer, you use the Global and the Chaos Sorcerer to make Arcanite. You can destroy with Arcanite Magician, and then you use Globulb's effect to summon itself, and you make Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. So that's pretty damn dope. So looking at our hand, we have Eater of Millions, Kinkabio, DD Crow, Jet Synchron, and a Dark Contract. That Dark Contract is coming in pretty clutch right now. I'm going to activate the Dark Contract, use its effect, and that is going to search, of course, the Lamia from our decks to our hands. Next, we're going to summon Eater of Millions. Actually, I really wish that I had the other Savant Kepler, because then I would use Lamia to summon by discarding the Savant Kepler, and then Kinkabio to revive the Savant Kepler, which would trigger to get another contract, which is pretty damn cool. But we are going to summon the Lamia by sending the contract, banish for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Have I normal summoned? No, I have not. And our 5 cards again, no, that doesn't mean anything to us at all. I have not normal summoned, so there's quite a few things I can do. I want to go risk it for the biscuit, summon Jet Synchron, make Formula. What we have gone? Effect Veiler. That would have been nasty. We're going to just go ahead and use these two for the Princess Sprite. And let's, oh wait, we know it's an Effect Veiler. I can cheat. Yay. We would do right here, I have not used my normal summon, which is still fucking awesome. There's so many things we can do. I think I'll just use, I can't use the Eater of Millions, and if I use the Lamia, we would go to graveyard. So, that's an interesting situation. I can make 4, I can summon, I can do quite a few things, and none of them I am not really happy about. So we could say that this is a dead hand, but if you guys consider this a dead hand, it's not really a dead hand. If this card was anything else, or if I didn't know what it was, we would have been really Gucci. So I'm gonna get you one last hand, and if I can't draw the Chaos Sorcerer, then, you know, I'll cry. I'll cry for all of us. If I can't draw the Chaos Sorcerer combo, I'll just show you guys the 2 combos I'm talking about. So the last hand, I wouldn't say we bricked on that one, but I think we did pretty good because we got a couple of resources in the graveyard. We have some plays, and actually, Effect Veiler would have my 6th, so I didn't draw my 7th, which would have been off the effect. Oh well. So drawing into our last hand, Chaos Sorcerer, oh man! So where art thou? Okay, we doing pretty good. A Dark Contract, even better. Eater of Millions, and Global. All right, so we have a pretty fucking good hand. We're going to go ahead and activate the Dark Contract to add the Lamia. Lamia effect to summon itself to our side of the field. And where's the Lamia? Boom. Next, I have to get a light target in the graveyard, which is going to be extraordinarily hard for right now. Oh, I didn't draw my 6th. Now, if I drew 1 for 1, or even... No, I guess that wouldn't work because then I'd have Global stuck in my hand. Oh, sweet. Whoa. Ain't that crazy, huh? Now I have options. I don't have a way to summon Global. That's the only problem. So if I would have drawn 1 for 1, I think that would have been perfect. We're going to go ahead and summon Eater of Millions by banishing 5. And our 5 is nothing again. Can they see this? Literally, banishing 5 for Eater of Millions is like eating cake. It doesn't hurt. I really want to put that light monster on the board, and I don't see it right now. I could summon Mystic Piper, use its effect, draw 1, draw 1. I can also activate Where Art Thou, add another Eater of Millions. We're going to activate Where Art Thou. There's no light monster I can special summon from my deck right now, unfortunately. I can summon Formula Synchron. which is a light monster, but I don't really have anything to do with that. I think we needed another summon or just have waited on our opponent's turn, but we don't have access to a light monster. We can do links. Actually, I think that's the best way to go. So another Eater of Millions. Let's see if this 5 means anything. Nope, didn't really mean anything at all. So 2 Eater of Millions on the field. And the TheCaliEffect is trying really hard to get you guys that combo. I really want to play it. Oh, actually I can. So we go boom. Make these 2 to make the Princess Sprite effect. Oh, that sucks, but that puts a dark monster in our graveyard. Even though we already had a dark monster in our graveyard. So next, we could use you 2. There's our light monster in our graveyard now. That brings out our proxy dragon. No! We stuck. Ah, that sucks. I have not normal summoned, but that normal summon would have been dedicated to Yugioh. Huh. It looks like we would have needed another summon, unfortunately, because I am not great at the game. If we would have kept if we would have just used all 3, actually, no, if we just would have did it this way, instead of making the Princess Sprite, we would have just used 1 to make the Link Spider, 2 to make the Proxy, and then 3 to make the Decode. That makes sense. Then we can banish the Proxy, which is why I said while we run it, and the Eater of Millions to summon the Cast Sorcerer, banish an opponent's card on the side of the field, normal summon the Yugioh. Use these 2 to Synchro Summon for the Arcanite Magician, place 2 counters on the Arcanite Magician, destroy 2 more cards on the opponent's side of the field, send the top card from our deck to our graveyard to summon the Yugioh, use the Yugioh and the Arcanite Magician, that's already done. And then use that to summon the Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. So Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, Decode Talker. Next turn, we got the Mystic Piper for the draw 2. Thank you guys so much for watching another segment of the TheCaliEffect. I really hope you enjoyed this Mystic Piper Chaos deck featuring Linkuriboh and the Rank Up Magics. If you guys want to see some awesome rewards, I'm telling you, I have the best rewards for YouTube watchers that like Yu-Gi-Oh! Go ahead and check out my Patreon. It's some awesome ass things on there. Thank you guys so much again for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy.